Breaking rideshare news. Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash launch a $90 million fight against the labor law in California. Find out more in today's video. Hey everybody, how is it going? Welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. My name is Dylan and thank you, yes you, thank you so much for coming by. This is the Rideshare Hub, a place for Uber and Lyft drivers to learn how to make more money and be better rideshare drivers. So if you drive for Uber, Lyft, or any of the gig economy companies, please give the video a big thumbs up and make sure to destroy the subscribe button so you'll be notified every single time a video on rideshare or the gig economy comes out, so you can increase your earnings and just be a better around, more knowledgeable, safer driver. So today's video is absolutely insane. If you don't know what's been going on in California for Uber, Lyft, and basically all gig workers, basically the California government signed a law, signed a bill that is now becoming law that basically would reclassify gig workers at reclassifying gig workers as employees rather than independent contractors. It has basically huge tax implications as well as worker implications. So now the California government is basically trying to make these big companies like Uber, like Lyft, and like DoorDash, Instacart, all these gig economy companies, to make all of their workers employees. They basically made it a lot harder to pass the test to make drivers and workers independent contractors. But Uber, Lyft, if you guys have known, they've been fighting this. They held a rally at the Sacramento State Capitol to go against this. They urged drivers to sign a petition. They now are putting up a $90 million fight. And actually Uber actually responded saying that, hey, the bill doesn't even apply to us, so don't worry, drivers, you're still gonna be independent contractors. And they even said their legal representative, their biggest legal counsel, whatever it's called, he basically said Uber's no stranger to lawsuits. It doesn't even say in the bill that this applies to rideshare drivers, and rideshare drivers are not even a core part of our business. We're a platform, we're not a taxi company, which in their defense, in Uber's defense, is actually an interesting claim. I mean, basically they're trying to get out of it, obviously, but when you look at the bigger picture, yeah, Uber does a lot. I mean, they have Uber Eats, they have Uber Freight, they have they're working on self-driving, they do Uber scuba diving, Uber does a lot of different things, and so it actually is pretty interesting. Uber Works that they just launched in Chicago. I mean, they do a bunch of different things, but basically they're putting up a huge fight. And here we go, guys. This is from the Los Angeles Times. This was put out literally today, about an hour and a half ago. So this is breaking news. Uber, Lyft, DoorDash launch a $90 million fight against California labor law. This is just a photo of the app. Here are all the drivers, very saturated driver market, I guess, if you want to call it. If you put a pin there, I mean, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. This looks like Los Angeles. In Chinatown, this is downtown. Yeah, so Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash submitted a California ballot measure Tuesday. That's today. I'm gonna make another video going over the ballot, so make sure to check that one out after this video, to exempt their business operations from a sweeping new state labor law. So essentially, Uber, Lyft, and now it looks like even DoorDash too, are basically saying that they're launching a ballot so the people can vote, whether or not they want to be independent contractors or employees. Essentially, what the California government is trying to do is make Uber, Lyft, and all these big companies provide a set wage, a solid wage, not all this nonsense, 80 cents a mile, 50 cents a mile, even some markets are 30 cents a mile. And you go out and not do any rides, hardly, you're not getting ride requests. Sometimes you make 30, 40 bucks an hour. I mean, I've gone out and make $70 an hour. then another day, you know, in another hour, you're making $10 an hour. It's like, where's the line? California wants to be like, nope, drivers are gonna make this amount. That way they go out for an hour or two, whatever, they make that solid wage. They also want drivers to have a right to unionize. So that's number 2, basically to join a union, because right now as independent contractors, you can't join a union. And number 3, they want benefits for the drivers too. I'm talking health benefits. I'm talking medical benefits, you know, retirement plans, like in the company itself, like probably matching 401ks. I don't really know the details, but that's kind of more what it looks like rather than just going out and making a couple bucks here and there. So Uber, Lyft is like, they said, heck no, that wouldn't be a huge detriment to our business model. They didn't want it to pass. And now look at, guys, $90 million. Let's get into the article. Sacramento launching what could become one of the most expensive issue campaigns in California history. Yeah, this is crazy. A trio of Silicon Valley sharing economy companies on Tuesday unveiled a ballot measure to exclude many of those they pay for work from being considered benefits earning employees. Let's continue. The proposal, which Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash intend to qualify for the statewide ballot next November, states that an app-based driver is an independent contractor as long as a series of conditions are met by a company. The initiative says drivers will be guaranteed a minimum amount of pay, as well as insurance to cover work-related injuries and auto accidents. So this is what they're putting in the ballot. This is what Uber and Lyft and DoorDash want to include. They'll include, a minimum amount of pay. So now we're talking, you know, you go out for an hour, and I think the terms and conditions is during trips only. So that kind of defeats the whole purpose, but whatever. A minimum amount of pay. I could be wrong on that, but that's the language I've heard in the past that they propose, as well as insurance to cover work-related injuries and auto accidents. Fair enough. And you guys already know Uber's insurances that they have so far is not great, but whatever. Whoops. And it lays out details for healthcare subsidies, protections against on-the-job harassment or discrimination, and a system to enforce some workplace rights. Let's continue. Many of the initiative's details reflect criticisms leveled against the companies by supporters of AB 5, the new law taking effect in January that will apply a series of rigorous new tests. Yes, so AB 5, as you guys have heard it doesn't in any way just automatically classify Uber drivers as employees. It basically made a test harder for these companies to pass. Basically, that requires them to either be independent contractors or employees. Essentially, it's saying that if a worker is performing a job, basically it says you can keep a worker an independent contractor as long as the worker is performing work outside of the normal function of the company. And so that's pretty much the big sentence right there. Are drivers performing work outside or inside the normal function, the necessary function? And a lot of drivers, including myself, see that it's very easy to see that yes, drivers are performing work that's necessary to the function of Uber, right? If there weren't any drivers, the app would simply not work. But Uber, Uber knows that pretty much, everybody knows that. However, Uber's legally trying to get out of it, that for the sake of keeping drivers independent contractors. This is my opinion. I don't know. I haven't talked to people at Uber about this. Everyone's hush hush. It's a huge legal battle. As you can see, hundreds of millions of dollars at stake. I'm surprised it's only $90 million. Uber is an $80 billion company. That's hardly any money. They're putting up 30 million each. I thought they were going to put up a lot more money, but 90 million bucks, whatever the case. So yeah, it was a huge process to get AB 5 signed, and Governor Gavin Newsom eventually signed it. He was at the center of an intense state capitol battle between organized labor and business groups. So here we go, guys. In many ways, the initiative seeks to offer remedies to some of the biggest complaints lodged against Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash, both by the drivers and labor activists. Let's just see really quickly what a couple of these complaints are. Then I'll get back to this and finish off with the video. Oh, I don't have access. Well, whatever. I reached my limit. But here we go, guys. Which is scheduled to rise to $13 an hour for most businesses next year. Yeah. So that's just the minimum wage. Drivers would also be paid a 30 cents per mile fee for expenses such as gas. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on at stake. I'm gonna make a whole separate video going over the actual ballot because I found the ballot and I'm gonna look at it. So and go over it with you guys in detail, but I don't want to make this video 50 minutes long because I know you guys got stuff to do, and so try to break it up a little bit. But essentially, you know, I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you're a driver or if you're just an onlooker, you know, I want to hear your thoughts. What would work best? Because obviously making drivers employees, signing them up, putting them in uniforms, having them sign up for 8-hour shifts, that simply will not work. Uber, you know, if that would have worked, Uber would have said, sure, fine, you know, let's do it. They're putting up $90 million. They don't want to do it. So obviously there needs to be some form of compromise, negotiation. What do you guys want? What do you think is the best way for drivers, gig workers? You know, should they get simply an increase in wages? Or should they start looking at employee medical benefits, health benefits, and medical insurance, rights to unionize, being an employee, being on W-2, and you know, if you guys are tax experts, W-2 versus 1099, you know, what kind of benefits do you guys want to see? Obviously, you know, well, I don't know, I guess you can still write off stuff on W-2 or 1099, but the biggest question is, if you're an employee, are you going to still use your own car, or is Uber going to provide cars for drivers? There's a lot at stake, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know down below what is the best solution for this battle. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, please leave the video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And also make sure to destroy the subscribe button so you will be notified every single time a huge breaking news update like this on Uber, Lyft, rideshare, and gig economy happens. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You go out there, have fun, be safe, and make some money. Bye, guys.